Good afternoon and welcome back to another episode of Mindful Growth Lounge.
What's the topic for today?
Limiting beliefs.
What are limiting beliefs?
It's a little self-explanatory.
But what are they though? Because what are limiting beliefs?
Are you asking my view?
What are they? So what's a limiting belief you have?
Feeling like I'm not good enough, that I can't do something because I feel that other people are not okay with X, Y, or Z, or that they don't agree with it, or that I shouldn't be doing something because other people put that thought into my head.
So like what? With singing, for instance? Singing and acting? Is that what you're talking about, or are you talking about something else? A lot of things. So I think what that would be more of a struggle with self-worth. Feeling you're not worthy enough to do what it is you want to do, which can be a limiting belief. But limiting beliefs are just things that we believe are not possible. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is, and a lot of people don't like. It took me a while to realize this, but where do limiting beliefs come from? We don't have limiting beliefs as kids, do we?
No, because our parents tell us that we can do anything and be anything that we want.
So where do the limiting beliefs come from? Because don't parents also tell kids that they can't be this, or they can't do that, or they need to be scared of this, or they need to be scared of that?
When we get older.
So where do you think limiting beliefs come from?
People we surround ourselves with. Literally anybody and everybody.
So I think limiting beliefs are programmed, and a lot of it's from as a child. I think we're programmed as a child to, they say that parents usually say we can be anything we want to be, but then they also don't necessarily support that a lot of the times. Then society is really quick to tell people what they can and can't do. When you have friends, they're really quick to tell people what they can and can't do. Limited beliefs are usually pushed on other people or adopted from other people. So why do we accept it?
Because of our ego. Because a person doesn't want to hurt that person's feeling by pushing back and saying, fuck you, yeah, I can. So once you do that ego work and do all the work that you need to do on yourself, then you can do what you do need or want to do.
So what are some limiting beliefs that you think you have?
How long do you plan on sitting here? What's
your number one limiting belief? I'll tell you mine while we think about it. My number one limiting belief is that I can't be successful. I can't be as successful as I want to be.
Why?
That's my number one limiting belief.
Why?
Because when we're raised, we're told that X amount of money is a lot of money. It's too much money. To have these things, it's too much. It's so expensive. It's basically out of your reach. So like me, I want millions and millions and millions of dollars, and I want to buy a compound and build everyone a house, and I want to be able to go into restaurants and tip people $1,000 all the time. I want to have money that I don't care, that I can sign off on anything and not even care about. And I have a limited belief that if I tell people that, hey, I want to make, my goal is to make $1 million a month, but I tell people, well, I wouldn't mind making $100,000 a month, and make that seem big. Because in our minds, $1 million a month, that's impossible. How can I make $1 million a month? That's my limiting belief, because that's what I want to do. I want to make $1 million a month, but because it seems so far out of my grasp, that I feel like maybe I have to just say, well, 100,000, that's a lot too. Like 100,000 is a lot. And then I know how much work I have to put in to get that, and being able to put that much work in, I don't know how much work it'll take to get to that.
Yeah.
I don't believe I'm able to put that much work in.
Well, definitely challenging when you work 14 hours a day as your garbage man. Definitely puts a challenge there.
It is. I think most normal people wouldn't be able to do it. I don't consider myself normal.
Far from now.
I think for most people it would be too challenging, it would be too hard for them. But I think one limiting belief I don't have is that I'm not capable of doing it. I feel like though that I have too many other responsibilities that I'm not able to just say, let me focus on this for a while.
I know that you struggle with that every day, and I know that I don't help. And having a 7-year-old also, and you see him 4 days out of the week.
Another limiting belief that I don't have is that I'm capable of checking off all the boxes. Like most would have a limiting belief of Now, I'm not saying I have balance. I'm not saying there's balance, but what I'm saying, most people would have a limiting belief that, okay, I work 12 or 14-hour days here, and I got to put in, 50, 60, 70 hours a week here, and then I have family, wife, kids, this and that. Most people would say, well, I just can't. Something has to give, but to me, I don't believe that. I actually don't really believe that. I believe that it can all get done. I need the right formula.
Tried a lot, still have a lot more to try.
Yeah.
Me, I don't know. I don't know where to start.
With your main limiting belief?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a limiting belief that you don't have then. What's a limiting belief that you do not have?
I don't know.
I know a limiting belief that you don't have that I have.
What's that?
That you are able to walk up and have a conversation with some random stranger. Because I have a limiting belief that I can't do that. I can't go and talk to people. You see me fail on that goal.
And you just choose not to. Because
Yeah.
you analyze everything a lot. I think
Yes.
you overanalyze when you try and talk to somebody.
Yes. If I could walk up to somebody and start talking to them about, is creation real? Or how did we all get here? What the meaning of life is? Then that would be fine.
It's the fact that you hate small talk.
Yes. I don't know how to do
You
that
need to
either.
get over that.
I have no idea how to use small talk.
Well, you need to try.
Yeah.
You need to get over your hate of small talk. That's where it starts. When
Yeah.
you can to go up to somebody and talk to them. That's where it starts.
Do you know the biggest weaknesses of an INTP is their disability to have small talk? That's an actual weakness in the INTP category. That's my personality. INTP.
What was mine? ENTP.
No, you're the opposite of me.
Yeah.
You're an ENFJ, I think. Like yours almost the exact opposite. I think one was the same. I think the rest were opposite.
I know it starts with an E.
Yep.
But okay, so my limiting beliefs is like in here in 18 days will be a year since I've been here, and I know 4 people. I don't have friends here. It's very hard for me to go out and make friends. As social as I am, I guess that's not really, well, I guess would it be a limiting belief if I just can't up and go and hang out with somebody? Is that a limiting belief?
Well, yeah, you do have a limiting belief about that because you go immediately to not being able to instead of trying to figure out a way to make it happen. Like trust, which I don't want you to do. Well, I'm talking about, yeah, sort of like public transportation.
I will not do that.
But there's other ways around it, I'm sure. Like the thing is, we haven't tried to figure it out and plan on you meeting people. So,
Can I?
well, we haven't tried. We have to start small. Does said person have a car?
No.
Can dad take you? Can this? Can that? Can you take my car? Can we? Different options that we can come up with. We haven't tried options yet. We haven't figured it out because we haven't tried. Instead of saying, well, I can't because it's, well, how can I?
So there's one.
That's the limited belief. But just for the record, I've lived here since 1995. That's
Yeah, but you don't like people.
No, I don't. Well, I like people. I just don't. No, but I don't. But I do, but I don't. Like, I keep my circle really small. I've tried to like people.
The reason why you don't like people is because haven't found your crowd.
Yeah, I can't relate to people.
Very small circle of people that are in your
Yeah, a few people that are like gym fanatics, but also like deep thinkers. Very small crowd there.
If you're in his crowd, please comment below.
Yeah.
Below if you
Yeah, I feel like a gym addict that sits there and ponders quantum physics and how y'all got here, then please hit me up. We can talk.
Another limiting belief that I have is, well, like you said earlier, like singing.
Yeah.
If I had it my way, I would have music on all the time. I would have my house like full of music. But because we live where we live, with the people we live with, I feel like I cannot do that.
You can turn it on downstairs and keep it somewhat loud because they can't hear shit upstairs. Everyone but Lydia's deaf as fuck. If y'all hear that, I'm sorry. I love y'all, but y'all are deaf.
They know they are.
Yeah, they're deaf. So you could probably turn it up really loud and they would feel it before they heard it.
And I would sing constantly. I love to sing, but I don't. It makes me feel good.
Yeah. I think you should have tried getting you to sing before. But I get it. I understand. One of the things we gotta start doing with limiting beliefs is stop teaching our fucking kids limiting beliefs.
Yep.
That's one of the biggest things. The ones Because I'll give you some examples. When we look at something, say our kid has homework, and we look at the homework and we say, well, that's too hard, or that's hard. Like the parent's opinion of hard, that's not the kid's idea. And if we don't ever put that in our kids' minds, then they won't ever look at, if we don't ever put the thought of something being hard in our kids' minds, then they won't look at shit as being hard. They'll simply look at stuff and figure out, okay, we'll have to figure this out. They won't understand hard. That concept won't even come to them. It's just like the concept of scarcity. Like, I was raised around scarcity, and scarcity comes with everything, but people that like economy and everything's so expensive and they can't spend money, they gotta save money. And the thing is, like, you're constantly worrying about what you don't have, like scarcity. If you constantly worry about what you don't have, all you're gonna get is more of the not having shit. If you sit there and say, this is too expensive, I don't have this money, I have all these bills, I'm in debt, this and that. If you think about the scarcity shit, the universe is going to continue giving you that, as opposed to if you start thinking in abundance.
Yeah, you need to stop focusing on what you don't have and focus on what you do have.
Exactly. And by abundance, I don't mean go out and like fucking spend money. That's just stupid. I'm talking about like on spending within your means, knowing that you're gonna have it come back. Sometimes you have to sometimes give something that you don't have, right? When we went
to the Limitless Arena.
Yeah.
If you can't give when it's hard for you to give, you won't give when you can give.
Exactly.
Who said that?
I think it was Keaton. Was it in the muscle?
I don't remember.
It's either Ed Milet, Keaton, or Bedros, but I don't think it was Bedros. I think it was Keaton that said it. But it's the truth. If you can't give, if you have $100 and you can't give 90 of it away just because it's hard, just because if you have all your bills paid and all you have is $100 and you can't give 90 of that away,
you're not going to give when you have $1 million.
Exactly. You're not going to do it. And so that's one of the things we need to stop talking to our kids about. We need to stop giving our kids our scarcity mindset. And one of the things that I think, regardless of how off the wall and crazy it sounds, if our kids have dreams of something, we have to learn to support that. Like when you ask me, so my son wants to be Batman. Dude's like 11 years old, and his dream, he grows up, he's gonna be Batman. And yes, I'm like, really, bro? But I'm never gonna say that's a stupid dream, you're not gonna do that. But what I do is I find a way to use that, right?
Yeah.
I say, well, in order to be Batman, he has to be Bruce Wayne. And Bruce Wayne's a very wealthy entrepreneur. Bruce Wayne's a very wealthy business owner. So I remind him every time, if you're gonna be Batman, bro, you can't forget that without Bruce Wayne, there's no Batman. You gotta be that first. And so you ask me, well, are we gonna tell him? I'm like, I'm not gonna tell him that. If that's what he wants to be, then fuck it, I'm gonna support it. And how crazy it sounds does, because you never know what it can turn into.
Yeah. Also need to stop, I think this anyway, we need to stop like, kids, okay, you need to work from 9 to 5 for 65 years of your life so you can live 11. No, you need to live every day like it lasts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely. You work every day, you save every single penny, you don't live your life whatsoever for your first 65 years, and then when you retire, you have a little bit of money saved up because you didn't do anything your entire life, and now you're like 6 years old with like tears left in front of you, maybe.
Yeah.
In the 10 best years of your life, and you're like, okay, well, now I can live. It's like, well, you just shit away your whole fucking life.
You stop teaching people that.
Yeah.
Hey, start living yesterday. So that also gives them limiting beliefs.
Yeah. I know people that still do that, they won't spend a fucking penny because they're so fucking scared that they're not gonna get it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my thought is like, well, I want to go into the grave with anything in my tank. Like, would you want to go, like, why would you want to get to the very end of your life and still have gas left in your tank? That's like pointless.
If you were to die tomorrow, would you be satisfied with your life?
Or about if you were to wake up tomorrow and say you have one more day to live, would you live that day any differently than you have the last thousands of days? Would you live that one last day differently?
Yeah.
Most people would. But why though? Because we never know when we're gonna go, right?
That's true.
You never know when you're gonna fucking go. Would I?
Yeah.
No, I'd live exactly the same as I live. I live my life to where I can go to bed every night, and the only regret that I have is that I wasn't present. So yes, I would continue to work on being more and more present with you and knowing you and Nolan when I'm there. But that's a steady work in progress. Because every night I go to bed, I have regrets, feeling like I failed in that category. But I wouldn't live my life any differently because I already live my life like the fucking gas pedal all the way to the fucking floor.
The thing I would change is the people I'm around. I had one more day left.
Stay mad. But what I'm saying is, like, we live it differently tomorrow than you did today.
Technically, yeah. Because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. If you get real technical about it, yes. But in a sense, no.
But doing things differently. But what you're doing and how you're living is two separate things. Like, would live that day differently. I mean, I'd do something different. I mean, probably wouldn't go to work, right? I probably wouldn't wake up in like my 12-hour job because that's like ours, you know.
I said, if you want to get technical about it.
Yeah. Would you
In a
live
sense, no.
Okay. A lot of people would live their life completely different. A lot of people are so reserved and scared to fucking die that they don't actually live life. So if they had one more day left, they would live differently. They would do different shit, of course, yeah, but they would also live different. They would actually live life for once.
People need to start living their life every day.